Hello everyone, welcome to the series of inventory management application using Node, Express, PostgreSQL and Vue 3. In the previous videos of this series, we discussed basic of inventory management application, basic of creating the structure or scaffold the Express application. So here we followed these steps to create the basic structure by the npx generator, and we also discussed the prerequisite thing to build this application like the Node.js, Postgres and VS Code editor. And over this application we will use the Node.js to handle server-side logic, Express.js to build the APIs and routing, Postgres database to store and manage all the data, and Nextjs ORM object relational mapping library to interact with the Postgres from the Node.js applications. You can check the link of this video in the upper right corner. And today I am going to explain the project structure of these applications, configure the linter ESLint I will use, and create database migration and seed file using the SQL query builder Nextjs. Okay, so let's get started. So I will go to the VS Code editor in the directory where we scaffold this Express.js application. This is the directory. If I view the terminal, you can see the directory. We have this workspace and inside inventory management applications, and we have this basic structure being www public routes views. So I put this basic structure into the Git repository, and you can find the link of this Git repository in the descriptions of this video. So today we'll clean up this directory. So we'll keep only those which is necessary for this application, and we'll add more directory and the files there. So let's go to the project structure. First I will show you the project structure. What that will be the inventory management. Inside it there will be the bin www entry point of the Nextjs application config file would be there, database, and in the SRC, inside SRC we will have the controller, helpers, middleware, models, routes and utils directory for different purpose. I will go to this directory structure and the files one by one. So I have the core structure here, you can see. Let me minimize it. So this is the architecture of the inventory management application built using the Node, Express and the PostgreSQL. So this structure actually follows to organizing the backend project, ensuring the scalability, maintainability and ease of development. So in the root level you can see we have this bin directory config, src directory, app.js file, database directory .env, git ignore file, package just.json, api.yml and the readme.md. So let's go to the VS Code and see whatever we have. So we have this bin and www, the entry point for starting the Node.js server. It uses the Express.js. You can see the app.js. This is the file. It uses the www file. And you can see we use the native HTTP package to create the HTTP server here. And we have this app.server.listen port. Basically it uses the Express app and listens for the incoming connections on the specified port. And next with this public, we don't need this public folder right now, so I will delete it. And next the routes, so there will be, so routes I also delete because the routes will be inside into the SRC. So if you see the structure here, we have the bin and next we have to create a directory config here. So I'll create a directory config. And next, if you follow, we have this, we need the SRC directory here. So I'll create the SRC directory in the root level SRC. And next we will have the app.js. So view, we don't need this view folder, so I will remove it. And next I will create this database directory. Let's create the database directory. And next we have this .env, .git ignore is already present, so I will create the .env file here. Next I will we have this package.json, api.yml we will use for the Swagger API documentation, and readme.md we have will create the readme.md if we need to put any instruction to run this application or a similar like document or information, we can put in the readme.md file. And I will create the api.yml here. So we created all this root level directory and the file. Next, I will go to this config index.json. So inside config directory, I will create a file index.js. Basically, this file will store the application configuration settings like the environment variables, port numbers, and other global app settings. These settings can vary depending on the whether the app is running in which environment, like the development, production, or the test environment. So we'll add the content later. And next we have in the src, we'll have those folders: controller, helpers, middleware, models, and utils. So I will create those. Controllers directory contains the application logic and are responsible for handling requests and sending responses. They receive input from the routes, process it, and return the appropriate response. Next is the helper. So basically, helpers are usable functions that provide utilities and the services to the rest of the applications. These are usually small focused functions that help with the common tasks. And next, middleware. Middleware is the crucial directory in this project. The middleware is a central concept in Express.js and is responsible for handling requests at different stage before they reach to the final route handler or controller. It can modify request response or terminate the request response cycles. Next is the models. Model represents the data structure of the application and handle interactions with the database. In this architecture, the model is the ORM object relational mappers like the Node.js to define the schema and methods for querying the database. And utils will contain like the utilities may assist in tasks like input validation, database queries, etc. So we'll take a look here. So for this controller, so you can see the controller will contain the index.js product controller and the order controller. Helper will contain the response helper and logger like things, and the middleware will contains the error middleware, authentication middleware, and the RBAC middleware for the role management. And the models will contain the different models for these different type of user products or whatever we have in this application, and the routes, the corresponding routes for these users, products, orders. And the utils will contain the DB utils and validation utils like this. Now I will create the files and folders inside the database directory. You can see we will have the connection.js, nextfile.js, migrations, and the seeds. So I will go to the project, and inside in the database there will be the connection.js. So I put the connection.js. It will establish a connection to the Postgres database using a library like Nextjs, and it ensures that the application can interact with the database. And next file, we have this nextfile.js, which will generate by the next command. So I will go to the terminal, and here we need to install the Knex package, npm inex. So I will install it. You can see the Knex package is added into our dependency, and it's also installed in our application. So next I will generate this nextfile.js. So I will go to change the directory to the database, and here I will run this command next init. You can see it's created the file nextfile.js here. I will minimize the terminal, and here if you see, it's actually provides the client as is SQLite, but here I will use the Postgres, so my client will be PG, and here I will use the connection string. So you can check the Knex from this Knex official site here, and you have to go to the view guide. Here you will get the installation and about all the details. Next, here it's mentioned can be used as the SQL query builder in both Node.js and the browser, and here it's installed, you can install the npm install Knex or npm iNex, and with next we have to install the corresponding package. If we use the Postgres with the Knex, then we have to install the pg with them. And here we have these configuration options where we can specify the host, port, user, password, database for the Postgres, whatever installed in our local machine. And also we can provide the connection string here. So I will provide the connection string here, and I already installed the Next.js. If I show you this, and I already created a video how to create, how to install the PostgreSQL in your local machine. So you can check this link of this video in the upper right corner. So you can access the Postgres by using the terminal by using this command, psql -u Postgres is my username. So I am interacting with this Postgres user, and I will provide the password here. You can see I actually enter into the Postgres database, where I can see all the database presence here. Here we have the test database, auth, book order. Those are the database we have here. And now I will go to the tree, and here I will mention the connection string. So our connection string will be Postgres or the Postgres DB ://username. In my case, the username is Postgres, and colon password for this user. So password is my secret password. I set this password during installation. And then the localhost, where we have this database. So it is in my local, so I am inserting the localhost. And next, the database name, I will create the database inventory management. So let me create this database here. Let me go to the terminal, and here I can create the database. Create the database inventory management. You have to put the, by this way you can create the inventory management. Here you can see the inventory management database created. Now if I list the database, you can see the inventory management added here. Now as I am using the Postgres here, so I need to install the pg. So the command is the npm i-pg. So pg package is a short for the Node. Postgres is a popular Node.js client for interacting with the Postgres database. So you can check from the package.json here, pg8 installed in my project. Next, the connection is created, and next I will specify the migrations and the seed directory, where my migration file and the seed file will be created. So if I go to here, so you can see inside database we created the connection.js, also the next file.js, and we configured it. Next we have this migrations directory. So basically this directory contains migrations files that manage schema changes in the database, like the create table in the database or the alter table in the database. We will create those files inside the migration directory, and seeds directory basically store the seeds files which are used to populate the database with the initial data, like the user admin data or the product data. Will initially load those data into those tables, products, users tables, by using those seeds file which will contains inside the seeds directory. So we will create those directory by using the command, and the command is the next migrate :make. And you can see here we will have the create users table, create products table, and the create orders table. So :make, and the name will be the create users table. And if I press enter, you will use the development directory. But here the migrations, actually if you didn't define that, it will automatically create the migrations directory here. So you can see, and it's automatically created this create users tables files, where we have this up and down functions, which will up function will be used for create the tables, user tables into the database, and down actually drop the table from the database. So we'll write those script using Knex later. In this video, I will just create those files here, and next we have to create the products table. So you can see products table created, and next we have to create the orders tables. Orders tables also created, so we created this, and now we will create the seats directory and the seats file. So the command is same, the next migrate, instead of the next migrate, next seat :make, and the file name will be the seat users, seat products, and the seat orders. So seat users, and you can see here the seat directory added and seat users also added, and here we have to mentions here the table name here. So before inserting any data, we have to parse the whatever data we have, and we'll initially load those data. Here we have the samples. Next we'll have the seat products, and orders we don't need. We will create the order form by using the API or from the UI. So the database directory is completed. We created all the files here. Next we will go to the src, and controller will have the index.js, product controller.js, and the order controller.js. So inside controller, I will create the index.js. So index.js is export all the controllers in the application, centralizing them for easy access in the routes and the middleware. And next we'll have the product controller.js. So product.controller.js, and next orders.js. So product controller.js basically will handle the business logic related to the product management, such as the creating, reading, updating, and deleting products. Seems like the order management will manage the orders, create new orders, viewing orders of the order history. And we will have another controller, users.controller.js. So we created all the controllers files for now. Next I will go to the helpers, and helpers we will have the index.js, response helper, and the logger.js. So index.js is the same. It will export all the helpers present in this helpers directory so that we can easily access all the helpers by calling this index.js from different, like from the middlewares or from the controllers. So it will have the response.helper.js and logger.js. So response helper.js will provides the standardized function for returning consistent API responses, like the success errors and the validation message. We will use this helper function to return the response. And the logger will a custom logger utility for tracking application activities, such as the logging API request and the error message. And next, if I go to the middleware, we contain the middleware like the auth middleware, error middleware, like this. Middleware also have the index.js, auth, and the RBAC is for the rollback access control middleware that check whether a user has the appropriate access for a route or not, and according to it will give access to this route, so it will be middleware. And for the auth middleware, it will be JWT based authentication middleware to verify if a user is authenticated before allowing access to the certain routes. And the error middleware, global error handling middleware that catches and handles all the errors occurring in the application. Next, I will go to the models. So here in the models, we have this index.js, user model, product, and the order model.js. So I will create the index.js. user.models.js and the order.model.js and products.model.js. So basically the user model.js will define the structure of managing the user entity in the database, including the schema and the related method, same for the orders and the product. And next we'll add the utility functions in the utils methods. We have create the routes also here. So let me create the routes folder here. And here we'll have the index.js and route for this different model, user, product, and the order. User.route.js, user route, order.routes.js. So basically those route file will defines the API endpoints related to the different operations like the order management, product management, or the user management. It will contains different API operation like the get, post, put, delete, different HTTP operations. And next I will go to the utils directory. So utils directory will contains the db utils, validation utils. The utils will have the index.js and we will have the db.utils.js. So utils is basically export all the utility function for the application. Such we have the db.utils.js contains the database utility functions like the query helper, simplify interaction with the database, and next with the validation utils, which will validate the input which will be posted via the post request, or it will also validate the other responses. So we created all the folders and the directory for the inventory management application. We'll build the project structure or the code structure and also the internal structure. So we'll have the bin config, we have the database configuration here, and also we have all the basic files for this controller, helpers, middleware, and the models. I will put all of these files and the directory structures into the same directory, and I will provide the git. I will put this basic project structure of the inventory management applications in the same repository, and I will also mention the Git repository in the descriptions so that you can create on your own. Okay, so this is it for this video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, please share the video, and please subscribe to my channel and stick to this series. We'll create the contents of those files whatever we created in the later video. Thank you.